Welcome back, everyone, to Pod of Thrones. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
It's been a while.
It's so long.
It's been a while.
And we just promised that we were going to do better.
Well, yes, except there were some problems. Well, now, look, when last we recorded, we had a brief discussion about kidney health.
Right.
I would like to reiterate some points of that discussion. People, take care of your kidneys. Please.
Just drink water.
Just drink a lot of water. That's the primary thing.
All you have to do.
I have not been well. Now, if you follow us on Twitter, where you are...
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kid-Free Weekend.
and you can find me at Pod of Thrones. If you're following me, maybe us. I don't know if you post anything about it, but I had some hospital selfies.
I didn't. I don't feel like that's okay. Like when
okay.
You posted a picture of me in the hospital, I was pissed.
When did I do that?
A long time ago. It was on your own personal Facebook, I think. But I don't like that. People don't need to see that.
Well, that's very different. Well, if it was for family and not for public consumption.
I still don't like it.
Well, fine. Well, I posted some stuff of myself, so just some miserable check-ins at hospitals. Oh, it was a good time. Not. I mean, I think when last we talked to everybody.
How long ago was that?
2 months, I think.
Okay, that's
about
right.
I had some kidney stone issues, but then I thought it was over.
Right.
Yeah, because
it got better.
Everything.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. He went to the emergency because he was feeling really crappy. He had a kidney infection. So they put him on antibiotics and they took a picture and they saw stones, but they only saw them on the CT scan, not the x-ray.
You talking about from 2 months ago? 3
yeah,
months ago?
the
3 months ago.
The first big
Well, I was
emergency.
having severe pain.
Right.
At that point. So I went in. It wasn't infected yet.
Oh, I thought it was.
They just put me on
that's
some
right.
painkillers for a couple days, and I tried to.
And they said try to pee it out.
Yeah, try to pass it naturally.
So then you kind of felt like crap for the next several weeks? Or had it?
I don't know, like a week, and then sort of got back into the swing of things over time. But I thought the kidney stone was gone. That was the key thing. And we recorded a podcast. We talked about it. Mm-hmm. Everything seemed great. I was working on drinking more water. Whoop-de-doo. Well, it turns out the stone wasn't gone.
No, it was just blocking.
It was just lying dormant, lying in wait for me to
try to push it out.
Coming. And just to pick the worst possible fucking time to reemerge.
It sure did. Right at the start of our move.
Yeah. We moved. Now, for those of you that have been meaning to come visit us, because I think we promised a couple people a guest room here and there, we're still in Orange County, California. You can still take your family to Disneyland and come say hi. We didn't move far, thankfully. I think that made things a little bit better. But yeah, it was December. It was, and I think I had been sort of feeling run down a lot, which just sort of leading into it. But then all of a sudden I really started feeling lousy with a fever and
you did not look good.
And then the pain returned, and then they sent me to the hospital for the kidney infection.
Sounds like you were having a baby. All that stuff happened to me.
My water broke. There's fluids everywhere. It was disgusting. But yeah, I wound up back in the hospital, and they put a stent in me. So this is the cautionary tale, people. This is the reason I'm telling this story is because I want you all to go drink a big glass of water now and forever.
Yes.
Just never stop it going.
Have the water in your hand.
I come from a line of people that are just professionally dehydrated. Like it's just what we do. We don't really think about drinking much.
Well, I had a theory that dehydration makes your body uninhabitable by germs.
That's your theory?
Yeah.
Oh. Is that working for you? Are you dehydrated? You don't let yourself get really dehydrated.
I get dehydrated, yeah.
Yeah, not like me.
No. Well, I don't know. If not like you, I don't know what's going on.
I just have a high tolerance for it. I always have. It just doesn't really bother me that much. My lips get all cracked or whatever, but that's, I don't know, it just doesn't bug me. And my kids have it too, and my mom has it. So, like, I know there's something in our family line that we just don't think about drinking much.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What?
I was gonna interject with one of my other theories, but I'm not going to.
So go get a glass of water while we talk about this, please. So they put a stent in me, which I was unconscious for, thankfully.
What's a stent?
So it's a little tube, and the design of the tube was to keep my ureter open, which is not the same as the urethra. The pain from a kidney stone, and I think we talked about this a month ago or 2 months ago, whatever the fuck that was. The pain of a kidney stone is when it's leaving your kidney and going towards your bladder, because that tube is much smaller than your urethra, where everything comes out in the end. So they
propped yours open
to prop mine open, and it's got like a little coiled hook at one side that sits inside the kidney, and another little coiled hook at the other side that sits inside your bladder, and it just hangs out.
Letting things come wide and
flow in every direction. And they were hoping that the stone would work its way out. I took antibiotics for the kidney, for the infection, and so on and so on. And then it was the holidays. Oh, and I wasn't supposed to really do any.
He wasn't supposed to lift.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. And we're moving December 15th.
Yeah. So, and this happened like December 7th or 8th or something like that. So it was just terrible timing. And the stent was only supposed to be in me for 2 weeks, but it was the holidays.
So your doctor went on vacation.
Everyone was going. 2 different urologists that could have helped me, and neither one was around. So they were supposed to take the stent out in 2 weeks. It wasn't supposed to be a long-term thing, and then reevaluate me to see if the stone is gone and decide what to do next. Again. So that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I did try to help out with the move here and there, and wound up suffering for it.
Why? That's... Yes, and in the end, you had to go back to the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, in the end, I was peeing a lot of blood, which is really fun. And they had to go in and take the stone out sooner than my doctor would have normally had time to do it, but he happened to be on call the weekend I went in, so it worked out. And then they put another stent in me.
Well, they lasered you had 3 stones. They lasered them away. Either it was 3 stones or it broke into 3 stones.
It was one really big stone.
It said 3 stones on your discharge paperwork.
Oh. They never told me that. But yeah, they used lasers.
Mm-hmm.
Up my pee hole.
Isn't that crazy that they shoved all of that up your pee hole, and then your urethra, and then it went all the way up to your kidney through your pee hole?
I've been really stretched out. I mean, the laser looked like Han Solo's blaster. It was huge.
Really?
They just stuffed it up inside me. No.
Oh. They didn't show you anything.
But then they left a stent inside me, and this time it was attached to a string. And the string had to go
it wasn't
somewhere.
A string. It was a nylon cord. It was a cord. Yeah. It's like one of those things you chop people's necks off.
A garrote.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it felt like that every time I moved at all.
That's what it looked like.
Anytime I moved, it felt like it was going to slice my wiener in half.
Oh.
It was very irritating.
A week
of that, and then finally everything's
now, to be clear, it's hanging out the end of your penis.
And nylon cord, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just so everybody gets a visual.
And then they had to get pulled out. I didn't get any. They didn't put me under to take it out. They just yanked on the string.
Oh, how was that? Tell me.
Fast. Thankfully, very fast. Much faster than I thought it would be, given how long the fucking thing was. Again, check my Twitter, Pot of Thrones. I posted a picture of the stent post removal. There's no dick pics. Sorry. But very fast, thankfully. Only a couple seconds, but it felt fucking weird and not pleasant.
Did it hurt?
Kind of, but pain's not really the right word. Just like, it felt like I need to get out of here right now. That's what it felt like. Like, please stop. It didn't hurt. It was just a horrible.
It's all wrong.
It was all wrong. Yes, very, very wrong. Very wrong feeling.
Huh.
And then it was done. Thankfully.
And now you're better.
So now I'm so much better. I'm podcasting. Look at me.
I know.
Well, I think a big part of it too, sort of in that multi-month malaise, like even when I thought I was feeling better, I still wasn't really 100%. And I was feeling pretty depressed by the end of all of it.
Oh my gosh, you were just so down.
I'm not usually a depressive kind of personality. I don't think.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
it was sad.
Yeah.
It was really sad. It was literally like 3 months of hell for you.
And all because I really just don't take good care of myself from a hydration perspective. Now there are diet factors in kidney stones, and there's like 3 different types of kidney stones you can get, and
What type did you
the way
have?
they calcify. Oh, I don't remember what it's called now. Ox something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm a cow. I think ox.
Okay.
But there's a few different kinds you can get just based on the type of minerals that calcify inside you. So there are dietary things, and the doctor said based on the type of stone I had, I should eat less of certain things,
Like what?
Dark leafy greens like spinach. Almonds, cocoa.
Really?
Less chocolate for me.
Oh.
But not that I can't have any of that stuff, but
Minimal.
less. And lots of water. That's the biggest thing. I think if you're going to get kidney stones, most of the time it's probably because you haven't had enough water to help flush all that other shit out of your body, because spinach is supposed to be good for you.
Yeah.
Cocoa is supposed to be good for you.
Right.
It's got lots of shit that like fights cancer and stuff.
He didn't say anything about cheese.
Nope. Cheese is not on the list.
Or bacon.
Cheese and bacon are still cleared. I'm allowed to do that. But I have been rethinking the keto diet, which I wasn't really losing weight on anyway.
Well,
I think there's been some other health stuff going on. I could tell some other stories, maybe some other time. But that has left me like with less energy and a lower metabolism for sure. But keto wasn't working for me. But I think processing all that extra protein too is a little harder on your kidneys. So maybe that helped sort of kick.
Is it?
That stone has been in me for years, but it got bigger and it really dug itself in over the years. So maybe I'm kind of rethinking my sort of diet plans for trying to lose weight. I might actually have to exercise.
Oh my goodness. Really?
I know. I don't like it any more than you do. You don't have to tell me. But
I'm not saying that I don't like it.
I might have to do something. I gotta do something. But I might not do keto again anytime soon, because I'm a little bit worried that that would have had an effect. But I'm not giving up cheese. No, ma'am.
No.
That's not going to happen.
What if they said that was the sole cause of kidney stones?
Look, I've had a good run. I've got some life insurance policies.
Well, that's something.
Hey, look, you saw how depressed I was just because I couldn't move. If I couldn't eat cheese on top of that, what do you think my mood's going to be like? I mean, really.
You know that in Weird Science when Chet turned into the big poo?
Yes, I do.
Well, like that, but without the arrogant attitude. You'd just be sad.
I see. I love that character, Chet.
No.
For a while, when you and I were sharing a Twitter account, we posted pictures. I had merged Chet into Donald Trump and called him Trump because it's CHRUMP for Chet Trump.
Oh.
Trump.
Yeah.
He was cute. He looks really good with the orange hair on top of his head.
You'll have to pull that back up and post it.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
Oh, God, I don't know. A year at least.
Oh.
So anyway, kidney health, people. I'm feeling so much better. And I got to tell you, for sure, I don't want to go through that ever again. So I'm going to work really hard on staying hydrated forever. Oh, and lemons.
You should post your like progress.
On keeping myself
hydrated
not
and
kidney
exercising.
Stones? Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
There's some people in sort of we've talked on the podcast before. I'm like a big Kevin Smith fan, and tell him Steve Dave. And so a lot of people on Twitter that I follow are part of that fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there's been a movement in like the Weight Watchers world, because Kevin Smith is a Weight Watchers ambassador.
Oh, really?
So he's been inspiring people. I think the biggest one for sure was this guy whose name, for being a Kevin Smith fan, could not be more appropriate. His name is Brian Stoner.
Oh, I saw that.
You saw? Yeah. Well, Kevin's retweeted him and responded to him a couple times, and he's posted a lot of stuff about his Weight Watchers experience. He's losing a ton of weight. So I've thought about it.
Are you going to do it?
I'm not committing to that yet. I've got some other ideas first, but I might.
You could just...
Oh, and Kevin's doing a contest, but I'm way too late for it. Something about like losing weight through Weight Watchers and getting a walk-on role in his next movie.
Ooh.
But I would have to have been in the program a long time ago for that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. But Brian Stoner is probably going to win it because he is motivated. So good on you, Brian Stoner.
A motivated stoner.
That's a great name, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Kevin Smith wasn't always a pothead. I wonder if
No.
Brian Stoner was a Kevin Smith fan before Kevin Smith was a pothead.
Good question.
I bet he was. He seems like a lifelong fan.
Okay.
So that's where we're at. I got to lose some weight. But apart from that, I'm feeling a lot better.
I'm so glad.
You know, it really is inconvenient peeing all the time, though.
Oh my gosh.
I used to be able to go
I know.
all day without taking a piss break.
Now, can you imagine having to deal with that and wait in the girls' line for the bathroom?
No, I'd kill somebody.
Yeah. It's
not like that at work, right? I mean, it's only like conventions,
No.
and major events, and
Right.
public places. Okay. Movie theaters.
Public places, movie
Oh,
theaters.
God.
Yeah.
I hope movie theater bathrooms aren't as gross as like convention bathrooms. I mean,
Convention bathrooms are surprisingly clean.
Are they?
They always have somebody in there. An
Men's
attendant
rooms are
is
pretty
always
gross.
in there.
maybe they treat women better at these things because you guys have to sit down. But the
I think
men's
that-
rooms are usually pretty disgusting.
Well, I like
Anyway.
to think that women just don't urinate everywhere.
I would like to think that too, but you have told me otherwise at
Oh my
times.
God, some girls are so disgusting.
I think it all starts with good intentions of like not wanting to sit on the dirty seat that someone else left
Maybe.
you, so like
And
try
then
to squat
disaster
over it, and
happens.
then you're like, I can control it, and then you can't control it, and then you just-
That has happened to me, but I wipe it off if that happens.
Let's-
You know, if there's a seat that I absolutely can't sit on, I will wipe it off. I'll even wipe off other people's pee, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like super wet and I don't have any other I don't have any other bathrooms to go to.
Normally, when you say things like super wet, I am much happier, but right now I'm grossed out.
It's disgusting. But convention bathrooms have all been clean. I love going to the hotel convention bathrooms better though.
All right, good to know. Speaking of conventions, we did. I did submit the application to renew our press passes for San Diego Comic-Con 2019, so hopefully they let us in.
Hopefully, here's
If they don't
crossing
let
our
us in,
fingers.
it's probably my fault for getting kidney stones because we haven't been very active recently, so we'll see how they judge us in terms of our... They should judge us more on how we covered the convention than...
I got
recent
so many
activity,
hits
but-
on that one Jeff Goldblum picture that I took. It was like one of the very first pictures I took, and I posted it right away.
It's your top tweet ever.
Top tweet ever. I should see how many
It
times.
was Grandmaster. It wasn't actually Jeff Goldblum.
No.
No.
Grandmaster
but it was
and
a
Tinkerbell.
Grandmaster Thor Ragnarok cosplay. And yeah, Tinkerbell, which is an interesting combination.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that you had, was it tens or hundreds of thousands of impressions on that one?
I'm going to look and I'll report back to you
It
in
was
just
a
a
lot.
moment.
It
It
was
was
a
a
lot.
lot. Is there a way I can see my top posts or anything?
I don't know. So let's see, that's happening. Not a whole lot of website activity recently. We did have some film stuff from Brenna. I think we talked about that previously. Brenna, our on the street reporter in New York City, went to a couple movie premieres, did an interview or two. So we had some reports of that on potofthrones.com. But nothing super duper recent because I haven't been doing anything.
It's been sucky.
Anything.
And then we got the flu over Christmas.
Well, you did. Thank God that's the one thing I didn't get.
First
I couldn't
my
take another
son.
thing.
And
Yeah.
then right when he started feeling better, I came down with his stupid symptoms. It was awful.
Yeah, and you guys were having kidney pain
It was back
from the
pain,
flu.
severe
Like
back pain.
Something was going on back there.
hmm
I couldn't-
Very strange.
I couldn't even. I was petrified of like, oh God, I already have pain back there. What if something else goes wrong? But amazing, probably because I got the flu shot.
Maybe.
I
did not get the flu shot.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Next year you got to get it.
Is it too late to get it now?
I don't know.
If you've already had the
I
flu,
think flu season. Well, if you've had the flu, then yeah, you don't need it.
I don't.
No, you have antibodies now for that
Sweet.
for that one flu.
I'm mutated.
No, the flu mutates every year, and then you
No, but I'm mutated now,
sure.
right?
It's your superpower, pretty much.
Yeah.
Totally. Let's see. What else were we talking about? When we said movie theater bathrooms, I thought we should talk about the movies because we did go see a movie finally.
Yes.
Late because again, haven't really been. We talked recently about Fallout 76, and even that until like the last week and a half, barely been playing that even. And I love video games and I love Fallout.
And you were home.
And I was home a lot and I wasn't playing.
He was just laying
I was
around being miserable.
Just sitting on the couch all day.
He had to have one leg up.
I binged. I had to have at least one leg up. And I was binging a lot of The Great Holiday Bake Off.
That just sounds so depressing.
It is. And it was kind of a fun show, but generally
Why didn't
speaking,
you play
I don't.
Fallout?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of work. I had to pee like every 10 minutes, even though I didn't really have to pee. And every time I moved,
So when you
it
were
was
going pee,
irritating. It
nothing
was
came
just
out?
like a little bit,
Oh,
but nothing, almost nothing. Nothing that would have necessitated an urgent run to the bathroom. I couldn't have devoted myself to a video game.
I hate bladder infections because they're the worst.
It's just fucking drink a lot of water, people. If you haven't already had like a 16-ounce glass while listening to this, I'm pissed.
Shame on you.
Go get some fucking water. Okay, so movie theaters. Yesterday, we left the house. Yay!
Yay!
And we went to go see Aquaman. So I thought we could talk about that.
All right.
Now, this is Pot of Thrones, but Aquaman is Pot of Thrones related.
Sure is.
Pot of Thrones adjacent.
It's like a Kevin Bacon thing.
6 degrees of Game of Thrones. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aquaman is Jason Momoa. So let's take a step back real quick. Let's remind everyone who Jason Momoa is in case you have
Everybody
somehow
knows
forgotten
who Jason Momoa is.
Well, if I'm wrong, or if you're wrong, just in case, Jason Momoa is most famous, I think, easily, from Game of Thrones as the late, great Khal Drogo.
Great introduction.
Great. What?
I don't know, you were just hyping it all up.
He was amazing. He was the guy you love to hate, and then did you come around? Was Khal Drogo a good guy in the end, or was he like? Did Daenerys really fall for him, or was it more of a Stockholm syndrome thing?
Well, I mean, relationships are very confusing, and
Don't want to take a stance on this one. Okay, it's all right.
I feel like. So we didn't get, all we got to see are these short clips of what he's like, and it's either or okay, babe, I'll do what you want, But we don't know the real Khal Drogo.
But in the end, he fought for her honor, sort of, basically.
Yeah,
right. Like the other guys were disrespecting her and wanted to kick her ass or something.
Yeah,
because she wanted to free slaves, and he was like, "You leave my wife alone."
I think when she made him her slave. I think that she just, what other guy was she going to have at that point? She was pregnant with his little baby.
Well, what interests me is that the whole turnaround of their relationship was sex.
Yeah, well, when she was able to have her way with him.
Or just have any fun at all. Because he would come in after a long day of riding on a horse, and then he would just bend her over and do his thing and then go to bed.
Right.
But when she was able to convince him to let her have some fun too, then they fell in love.
I guess so, but I mean, I don't think she had many choices.
They couldn't even speak the same language at that point. So if the sex is good enough.
Yeah. She's never known anything else except for her little princess life.
And her brother.
He's
creepo.
I don't know. I wonder if they had sex.
I don't think so. But
I hope not.
He was close. Well, the Targaryens were very incestuous.
Ugh.
But I'm pretty sure she was supposed to be a virgin to the whole betrothal thing.
Good.
Yeah. So that's Jason Momoa. He was on a couple seasons of Game of Thrones. He came back for a dream sequence or two. May show up again. I think
probably
rumors of him being around the set again for this last season. I believe. So that's Jason Momoa.
He's Aquaman,
and now he's Aquaman. Now, what were your impressions of the Aquaman character from the Justice League movie? What was that, a year and a half
Didn't he have blonde, short hair?
What? No.
Well, I remember seeing a figurine of him, and he had on green pants and a yellow top.
Well, maybe it was Aquaman, but not Jason Momoa Aquaman.
Right, of course.
Because old school Aquaman, I believe.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
No. From the Justice League movie. The one we saw with Henry Cavill and Batfleck.
Was Aquaman in that?
Okay, well, yes, yes, he was. Right. He was a major player.
What did he do?
One of the 5 heroes.
Really? Did he just come out of the sea and make a big wave come over?
No, he's just making stuff.
I thought I had a faint memory of that.
Oh boy, He did surf on a parademon at one point, but that was in the sky, not in the water. He didn't really spend much time in the water, because they were in like Chernobyl, Russia. I mean, like you're wherever.
I don't remember Aquaman. Maybe I fell asleep during that part.
The Aquaman part?
Yes.
Like all of it. Okay, so never mind that question.
Maybe I didn't go see it because you took the kids one time without me when I was studying.
That was just Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was excellent, but we can't talk about it because you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so never mind the question of what you thought of him from the last movie. I will say that it was a strange version of Aquaman, but if you have to have Aquaman, and I think we talked about this yesterday too, if you have to have Aquaman, at least you're making him kind of interesting with this kind of
wild style,
rock and roll, heavily tattooed look, attitude.
He has an 8-pack.
Aquaman, yeah. You like that, do you?
I like the 8-pack.
I've got more of a keg thing happening, like a mini keg,
a barrel,
one of those little ones. Yeah, I'm barrel chested, more like barrel stomached. So I thought it was a fun take. He was cool at the first Comic-Con when he came running out with his trident and was like moshing to the music. And
he plays the part well.
Right. Well, compared to the old school Aquaman, when they said we're bringing Aquaman into the cinematic universe, people were like, "Really, Aquaman? The guy that talks to fish and goes blue, 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 blue underwater, and how is he going to add to anything in a movie?" That's what people were worried about. Another misstep from Warner Brothers, DC.
And
as far as the other missteps that they've had, I think this one was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
We talked about many times over the years this DC universe. I described it as joyless, something that I still feel Kevin Smith stole from me. It was a joyless universe, just this dark, bleak.
There was no happiness in it.
There's no jokes.
There's always bad shit happening, and everybody's fighting.
Yeah, it's always dark.
Okay.
Yeah. As opposed to the Marvel
Batman
universe.
is dark.
Well, Batman is dark, but and I guess I would say the Dark Knight trilogy. Somehow the Dark Knight trilogy didn't feel so joyless, but maybe it's just because the movies were just that much better.
I don't know about that.
But this,
I never saw the last one. I think with the Joker.
Yeah, no, that was the second one.
I didn't see that one.
We didn't see that one together. We saw the third one together in the theater, I think. I don't know. But that one, despite being very dark and gritty, was they were a great set of movies. But then you had Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and it was dark and gritty, but something was missing. And then at the end, they're fighting the big CGI Doomsday, and Wonder Woman came in, and she was really cool.
The storyline was missing.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
And then in that movie, they teased Cyborg and Aquaman. They came in for Justice League and Aquaman. Oh, and Flash. I guess we had a lot of heroes. 6, I suppose. But with Flash, you added in a sense of humor. He's this awkward, nerdy guy.
Yes.
And
that brought some happiness back.
And Wonder Woman, she got her own movie. It was amazing. You remember that movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And the Flash is still getting his own movie. And Aquaman has this, that rock and roll attitude. It's something different.
Mm-hmm.
So coming to the Aquaman movie.
I liked it.
I liked it too. But it had its moments of, what the fuck is happening? What'd you think of Mom, first of all? So we had Nicole Kidman in a superhero movie. I never thought we'd see that. She always seems like a very serious actress.
I think she did well. I liked it. I have nothing else to say about that. I liked her. She did well.
And Aquaman's dad, did you recognize him? Probably not.
He was in Walking Dead.
Oh.
No.
Was he?
I thought he was the stepbrother's son. Oh, wait, stepbrother. He was Nick's stepbrother that ended up getting in trouble, and then his dad took him off through the desert.
Oh, you're talking about Fear the Walking Dead?
Oh, yeah, I guess I am.
But no.
No?
No.
Darn.
No.
No, you're right. No.
He's much too old for that. But he was Jango Fett in
Oh,
the Star Wars
yeah.
movies.
I
Star
remember.
Wars
That kid
episodes 2
looked
and
like
3.
his son that was playing his part.
Yeah, the little kid. He couldn't have been the same kid, though.
Couldn't it?
That kid was that age 10 years ago now, or whatever that was.
Oh, gosh. Was it that long?
At least. Probably longer.
All right.
Yeah, so that was Jango Fett. That was kind of cool. And the story, I mean, by now, I'd say most people would have seen Aquaman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the story is sort of Aquaman's origin story, except we've already had him in a movie. So we saw his childhood go by really fast. But right from the get-go, when you see little boy Aquaman getting picked on by kids at school and then defended by a shark in an aquarium, he did the thing where he put his hand out and it was like, woo, 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 woo. And you see the little sonic or whatever sonar waves or something going out of him,
Mm-hmm.
and he can talk to the fish.
Right.
They incorporated that key facet of Aquaman.
Fairly easily.
And by the end of the movie, they incorporated his bright orange shirt and green pants.
Did he have an orange shirt on?
It was like copper colored. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
they found a way to do it by making it, all these Atlanteans had these crazy, intricate, very medieval looking suits of armor. And they gave him this shirt of what I would call scale mail, I think, but copper. So
I thought it was gold.
So it looked orange. I thought it looked orange. I was assuming copper, which would
Copper?
rust.
Yeah. That's not a bad choice for the
But
ocean.
it's magic.
I think it was gold.
His trident was gold. Yeah, just saying. So they found a way to incorporate those things into the look and feel of the character, but still keep Jason Momoa as being this rock and roll badass with all the tattoos and the beard and the long
I'm
hair.
glad they didn't give him a tail or anything like that.
Tail.
Like he turned into a merman.
Well, there were those.
Yeah.
There were laughs from the audience when they started showing that stuff of like how the Atlanteans evolved over time, and some of them evolved, some of them devolved. You had ones that were human, ones that had tails and were mer people, and then there were the trench.
Oh, so that's how mer people came about.
They came about after the fall of Atlantis, yes.
Huh.
And the trench things that were these. I think that would probably bother our kids. We didn't take them to see this.
No.
I don't think they would like the trench monsters.
That was kind of scary.
It was a little bit scary. They looked like aliens from Alien, except
Yeah.
without the extra mouth.
They had the teeth of a anglerfish,
Yeah, and just claws, and they moved
but
all
human
fast and
like,
creepy.
human sized.
Mhm.
Scary.
It was gross.
I would have shot them all.
This was a violent movie.
It was.
There
very
was a
violent.
lot of blood right
And
from the get-go.
Wasn't Jason Momoa killing people? Did he kill people?
Yes.
Yeah, he
yes.
did, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I think this movie was PG-13. I think. Pretty sure. It couldn't have possibly have been R. I'm sure we would have heard about that in its own special headlines. But we opened this movie up with Manta, or later to be known Black Manta. But like he's this pirate and he comes on board this submarine and just starts murdering people. Not knocking them out, not doing something where they would like die off screen, like shooting them out of torpedo tubes or something. Like he gets the captain of the ship and just straight up stabs the dude right through the gut. And you see it.
Yeah.
You see it happen. That's not like what you would normally see in like a Marvel movie typically. I mean, they a little bit maybe here and there, but not much.
Or from afar, maybe.
And then Aquaman comes on the board, the fucking submarine, and he just starts breaking people in half. Basically.
And he ran, like, he took that
He
a hook
ran,
or something.
Like, yeah, dad. He like runs Manta's dad through like his shoulder, but then leaves him to die, which is the least superhero thing. It was very surprising. And it really was one of those things where I'm thinking, we know Manta killed a bunch of guys, and that's wrong. No argument there, Mr. Arthur Curry. But if you just kicked that torpedo off of dad and let Manta save his dad and just been like, I will save your father. I never want to see you again on the high seas. Something.
Yeah.
Like, this is your one chance to turn it around, motherfucker. You make the whole movie so much easier.
Well, then there wouldn't be a movie.
Well,
there wouldn't be a villain.
I know, but he was a good guy. I mean, even as rough and tumble as Aquaman was, he was a good guy. And I wasn't sure when this movie was happening, but we do find out halfway through the movie that this is after Justice League, because I thought it might have been before, but it was, they talked about how he helped defeat Steppenwolf.
Mm-hmm.
I know, don't remember that movie, but Steppenwolf was the big CGI villain from Justice League, who was pretty lame. He had horns and an axe, and he was dumb. But that was the movie. It centered around Steppenwolf and mother boxes.
Mother boxes.
Don't remember any of this, do you?
Well,
It's okay. It's
thanks.
okay. So they center around all that, and I feel like they did have to do a little bit of retconning, because in Justice League there was a scene where Aquaman met someone from under the sea.
Under the sea.
I knew that was coming. I couldn't stop it. He met someone under the sea, and they made an air bubble, and they were talking to each other, and then they fought Steppenwolf a little bit. Like, all this stuff happened, but it seemed like Aquaman was acknowledging Atlantis, and Atlantis was acknowledging Aquaman, even though he wasn't part of their world.
Right.
Well, it all comes around, doesn't it? So I felt like I feel like they tweaked a little something to forget about that scene.
Okay.
Because this one was like, he's never been to Atlantis. He doesn't know anybody from Atlantis. He knows he's special, and that's it. He knew Volko.
Volko told him everything.
Volko, yes. Volko. Willem Dafoe's character.
He knew all along. No, because his dad told him who his mother was.
Right, but then he knew his mother was dead. So Aquaman knows his mom's dead. Dead. He knows his mom's dead. He knows Volko. Volko taught him how to fight and use a trident and swim and all that shit.
Uncle Volko.
But that's it. He had never met anybody else from Atlantis.
Right, but he knows his story.
He knows his story. But in Justice League, there was an implication that he knew. We should go back and watch it since you don't remember anything about the movie. But there was more of an implication that he knew what was going on around there. But in this case, he met this lady, Mira. Did you like her? How'd you like Mira?
Her hair is very unnaturally red.
It was the color of Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ariel red.
It was, and well, she kind of looked like Ariel.
A little bit. Except she didn't have a tail.
I don't know. She could have done with less makeup, being in the water all the time.
There was a lot of attention paid to how they did the hair effects for the underwater scenes, because they weren't filming underwater, but they took the time later to animate everybody's hair.
Oh.
Which cost many millions of dollars.
Sweet.
It was cool effects. Although some of them, like when they would pull their hair like way back. Volko had his hair always pulled back really tight, and Mira, when she was underwater a couple times, had like a style, but it was like they must have used a lot of hairspray because it was never moving in the water.
Huh.
But some of them, it was always floating around. Very expensive effects. Really looked.
It looked
great.
real.
Yeah,
I was wondering how they did that.
I think it started by practicing on Superman's mustache. And you don't remember anything about Justice League. Why am I making these references? Never mind.
Okay.
Anyway, so what? So the movie culminates with the ultimate like heroic journey. Aquaman finds his mom, finds his trident, talks to a weird kraken monster.
That's right.
He gets his shirt. He goes woo 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 woo, and controls a lot of stuff. And ultimately beats the bad guy, which was Patrick Wilson. Did you recognize him? Because it took me a while to pin who he was.
The bad guy
Ocean
Patrick
Master.
Wilson from Black Panther.
No. What?
I don't know.
No, we're talking about Ocean Master, King Orm, his brother. That's Patrick Wilson was in like a ton of horror movies, like the ones where the little boy gets possessed.
Really?
And then the other one with the Annabelle doll. He's the guy. He's like the
That was him?
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, he looks much different.
Way different. Yeah. And
he looked like an elf.
Scenes and all this stuff. I thought he was the king of horror movies for a while because he was doing all these different series of that. But
he did a great job.
Yeah. He was a convincing. It was very Legolas like, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He looked like a Lord of the Rings elf, except without the pointy ears. But the hair.
I kept expecting to see a pointy ear somewhere.
No bow and arrow. I don't think that would work so well underwater.
No.
But they set things up great for a sequel. Manta survived. Man, what a beating that was. That was a great fight.
Yeah, I guess. If you're going to fight a robot, or, I mean, a person inside
a suit, yeah. Lots of CGI.
It was all right.
It was a big time fight, and Mira got to have her own heroic moments, which was nice.
Yes, she fought too.
She had a little Wonder Woman kind of
Mm-hmm.
oomph inside her.
Mm-hmm.
But she's more like a sea witch. She has all these like cool water telekinesis powers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She
Aquakinesis.
She should have just sucked the moisture right out of their bodies.
Oh, that was so gross. She sucked like sweat out of Aquaman's forehead or something.
She did, didn't she?
We already covered that he was smelly.
She sucked the sweat off of his
forehead.
Was it forehead?
It might have been his dick. Where are we going with this?
To put in that thing.
She said, "Show me your sweaty ball sack." And she sucked all the moisture out of it. And he's like, "Wow, my balls are dry for the first time ever."
That a problem?
No, it'd be great.
No, I'm just saying, is that a problem for you?
Oh, well, I don't want to talk about that. We've talked about my dick enough today.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's cool. She'll be back. They fell in love.
Did they?
Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. So here's the one big problem I have with the entire movie.
Oh my God, yes.
And it didn't happen till the very end of the movie. So there's this huge battle. I guess diplomacy is over. So Ocean Master has decided that instead of talking to the Brine Kingdom to get them on his side, he's just going to fight them. And that's it.
Well, that's what happens with these crazy
So there's
people.
this big fight coming, and the Brine guys are goofy looking. But whatever. Huge battle scene, very Lord of the Ringsy and in scope, just giant armies clashing together. And Aquaman, somewhere else in the world, has gotten his trident, gotten his orange shirt and his green pants, got his mommy. Everything's awesome. And he did it by talking to this monster whose name I don't remember, but it was like the Kraken, something. Has tentacles and claws, and it's huge, the size of like a Godzilla kaiju kind of thing. Kaiju. Yeah. And then he goes to stop the battle. And he goes to stop the battle by bursting out from the ocean floor where the battle's taking place. In doing so, he probably killed like 10,000 people.
Well, you know.
These tentacles come out, and then these big legs come out, and the whole ocean floor is exploding in every direction. There's lava coming out.
Right. I remember the lava.
Everything that got hit by all of that is definitely dead. So there's that. But then he starts joining the battle, and they're fighting, and the Kraken thing, and then he takes over the army of armored sharks by going like woo 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 woo. He does that thing. That was
right.
cool.
Then they all.
But he has to go find Ocean Master and just end this. Cool. And Mira's the one that figures it out, because we have figured out that Aquaman's a dummy.
He is a dummy.
No one's trying to hide that.
Right.
He's not that bright. But then she's like, "You got to go take him down. I'm going to go talk to my dad, and we're going to end this, yo." And then she kisses him.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you describe what happens next?
All these lasers and I don't know. There's like all this fighting going on around them, and they're kissing for like at least 20 seconds.
It was slow motion, so probably a full-on minute of like actual kissing.
Yeah, while they're getting ready to go save everybody. What?
It was like they kissed and fireworks went off, except they weren't fireworks. They were exploding underwater creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got to hurry. Oh, but wait.
Let's kiss.
So it was and I keep trying to tell myself, it's a comic book. It's a comic book. It's going to be okay.
Yeah,
but
that's true. True.
But just the number of casualties that can go by in a moment like that. I mean, I love you very much, but if there's lives being lost and I can save those lives, I'd be like, "Babe, I'll be right back.
Hold that thought.
I love you. Goodbye." And we can have a quick kiss.
Right.
But not like a world is ending. This is our last kiss that's ever going to be happening. You got to go save the day. People are dying by the hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands. I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people are dying.
Right. And you know how much damage to our ecosystem would happen if somebody...
Oh, yeah. The tsunamis have got to be horrible.
Right.
Yeah. So that, and then the final battle, everyone's happy. Everyone wins.
Of course.
There were some surprises. I was surprised that Willem Dafoe didn't die. It seemed like he was being set up to be the tragic character in all of this. Like, he's the teacher. He betrayed the king.
I kept waiting for him to turn evil.
Oh, well,
'Cause-
that is a common Willem Dafoe thing.
Right.
But I was picturing more of a John Wick thing, where he's the old mentor and friend,
Mm-hmm.
but then he winds up
And that's what
he
he
winds
is.
up saving the hero and then sacrificing his life in the process. That's what
Oh.
I was expecting, just like he did in John Wick. And then also Nicole Kidman survived. I was expecting a twist right at the end. I thought Ocean Master was going to kill her for sure.
Mom? His mom?
He was like, "Mommy," and then they hug, and then she's like, "I love you, but you're not the real king." I just thought he was going to take one of his pieces of trident that was left over and just run her right through, because the movie certainly had no problem showing people get run through.
Right.
I figured he runs her through, and then rock and roll superhero goes like, "Fuck you!"
That's our mom.
And just headbutts him until there's nothing left but paste.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought there was going to be a turn on him, and
Yeah.
didn't happen.
They just
Instead, it was a
marched him off
happy,
to water jail.
happy ending.
Yeah. Surprisingly happy ending.
Mhm.
But that does mean Ocean Master's still alive, and he'll be back, I'm sure.
He's
and,
good now. He's a good boy. As long
Mm,
as mommy's alive.
we'll see. And then Black Manta, also still alive. Very much alive. Got the beating of a lifetime, but he'll come back better
I
and
did
stronger.
not appreciate that costume at all.
Oh, well, the fans love it.
Is that what it
Because
looked like?
he looks just like he did in the comic books and cartoons and all that stuff. This
person's head can't
ridiculously
fit in
oversized
there.
helmet. Well, it was huge.
Mm.
There was a lot of circuitry inside, but
But it was
squat.
squat.
Yeah.
It was very wide, but squat.
Well, people have different size heads, though. That helmet wouldn't fit me because nothing fits my head. So you're just probably used to the fact that my head is ginormous, and
Maybe.
maybe this guy had a normal sized head and it was totally okay.
Maybe.
Eh.
Okay.
So,
How many stars you giving this on a scale of
Aquaman.
1 to 5?
well, if we're going to put it in the context of the DC cinematic universe, I'm going to go like 4 out of 5, where 5, maybe like 4.5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 was Wonder Woman. She's as good as it gets so far.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Did you like this better than Wonder Woman?
No.
But in the context of like superhero movies as a whole, maybe I drop it down to 4 out of 5. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it very much. It was long, and that's not a bad thing in my world. Some people complain, but I love a 3-hour movie.
I had to
don't know
pee
that you did
twice,
have to pee.
pretty much. I held it the second time, but I really had to go.
Did you miss the credit scene? Or maybe you
Um,
got back just in time, where Black Manta was alive,
I don't know if I saw that.
lying in a bed. Oh, okay, well, yeah, you did run out when the credits started.
I had to pee.
Amazingly, I didn't. I mean, I did, but
That was weird,
it
right?
wasn't a crisis. Yeah, so I would say it was a really good superhero movie, but Avengers Endgame's coming, and that's probably going to make us all forget about Aquaman for a while.
Yeah, I don't know that he needs to be forgotten. I mean, it's not one of those movies where you wish they hadn't have made it because it was stupid, and
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
I want to like all of these movies because the characters are so iconic, but when I go back and look at Justice League and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, they're really not that good. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff that you almost love, but
Mhm.
they're really just not that good.
Mm.
But we have to watch Justice League again. You have to give it a chance.
Okay,
Maybe we can get some of the kids to watch it with us.
I like that.
We'll see. I mean, they might not want to. They might be like, ugh, not again. And you're the only one that's coming into it fresh. But I'll watch it with you if no one else does.
Oh,
I'll give it a chance. I like The Flash. He's really funny.
same guy at the show?
No.
No.
No, they drew a line there. The TV universe and the cinematic universe do not share characters, which is another thing that Marvel's doing differently. Disney's starting up their own streaming service soon, and they've already signed Hiddleston and what's her name? Something Olsen. Elizabeth Olsen. Tom Hiddleston and Elizabeth Olsen, Loki and Scarlet Witch, they're getting their own series on the Disney streaming service
Cool.
as Loki, and yeah. Which might mean Loki survives. Won't your daughter be happy?
Yes.
Or both your daughters?
Who knows? They're-
At least your oldest. She
At least
is
my oldest. She's
very
a fan.
much in love with both Toms,
Mhm.
Tom Hiddleston and Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She
Not
loves it.
in love. I don't know what it is. It's kind of a
Right.
weird.
Every time they die, she cries.
Yeah, but it's not like I don't know.
If that's not love, I don't know what is then.
Oh, wait.
Damn
All
it.
right. All 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 right.
Okay, so should we talk Game of Thrones? We talked Game of Thrones tangential. Do we want to talk a little bit of Game of Thrones?
Yes, let's.
Cool. So Game of Thrones, for those of you not aware, is a TV series that we really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got swords and dragons and a lot of murder.
Magic.
Some magic.
Yeah.
A little bit of magic. It is a dark and wonderful show. As dark as the DC universe, but yet somehow not completely joyless. Something always pulls you out of it and makes you want
Really?
more.
I don't think that there's...
Or maybe it's just the acting. Maybe it's just the directing and the writing. I don't know what's missing from the old DC universe. I just hope that they keep going with the Aquaman.
Okay, let's move on with our Game of Thrones stuff.
All right, fine. So Game of Thrones Season 8, the final season. It's coming, babe.
I know. It's so bittersweet.
Do you have the date?
Is it April 12th?
I know I usually rely on you for Jennifer's News Corner, but it is April 14th.
Oh, I was close. I was going to say that.
Now, I looked it up. I looked on our calendar. That is a kid-free weekend. So we're just going to have to try to get like the earliest East Coast feed that we can so we can watch it and record about it before...
What day is it? Friday?
The kids come home.
Friday night?
It's a Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah. It's always on a Sunday.
Oh, that's right.
It's been so long, you forgot.
I know, I have.
Excuse me. It's been like a year and a half. And I was thinking we weren't going to see Game of Thrones again until after Comic-Con because it lets you build up the extra hype from the hype machine. But I guess I was wrong. So it's going to be in April. So hopefully we'll get a Comic-Con panel of like, this is it. Goodbye, everybody. We loved you.
Oh, my goodness. That's going to be crazy.
They better do something.
If they do something, it's going to be crazy.
I'm still pissed at them for skipping last Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That was why we started going to Comic-Con. Damn it.
I'm pissed that we didn't get any posters or anything.
Yeah.
Psh.
Yeah, well. So it's coming April 14th. There have been lots of different spoiler reports, and I have been doing everything in my power to avoid them. I got nothing. I don't know what's going to happen. Do you?
No.
Have you read anything?
I haven't.
Okay.
No.
Let's try to keep it that way. We
I
can
plan
make
to.
predictions, but if we're going to make predictions, we need to do it dumb and blind.
Right. That's fine. I don't want to be disappointed when it...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it. We only get 6 episodes.
Mm.
The problem is they're really long episodes.
That's okay.
So it's good that you are, for instance, done with school.
We could do half hour a night and then it'll be like longer.
Stretch it out. Like
Yeah.
over a week, we'll do like 3 podcasts for each episode.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I think that'd be fun. We watched the first half hour of episode 1 of Game of Thrones. Here's our thoughts. No?
No.
You know what? If you think it's a good idea, please shoot me an email. Don't talk to her. She's going to be negative. But if you like that idea, Jeff@potofthrones.com or Pot of Thrones on Twitter. Those are the best ways to get me.
Okay.
Okay. You can talk to her too.
Right.
If you want. Kid Free Weekend or Jennifer@potofthrones.com. Okay, so it's coming. We don't know anything about it, but there was a teaser trailer like a week ago.
Right. I haven't
You have not watched it yet.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to have you come sit with me here.
Ooh.
We're just going to put it on. We're going to watch it together. I'm sure most of you Game of Thrones fans have seen it already. And there's not, it's not like they reveal anything, but it does give you some food for thought. So I'm just going to crank the volume on my phone. Here we go. Let's watch this together. We're in the crypts of Winterfell.
You have to protect him. All this horror that's come to my family. It's all because
Jon
I
and
couldn't
Sansa.
love a motherless child.
There's Arya.
You are a Stark. You might not have my name, but you have my blood.
All right, that was it. That's our teaser. You should go back over to your chair now and your microphone, and then we can talk about that. So here's what we saw. We saw the 3 Stark children. The remaining... Well, no, not the remaining Starks. We didn't see Bran. No one was rolling him into the crypt.
I think that would have taken away from some of the power.
Well, I think maybe he's not even really a Stark anymore.
He's just the tree.
He's something else. He's the one-eyed raven? No, 3-eyed raven. Oh, God, it's been so long. He's the 3-eyed raven now, so maybe he's just above all that shit.
I think he's the tree now. He's everywhere.
That's the 3-eyed raven.
Well, no, it's a tree.
Well,
He's always the tree. I get it.
The tree and the raven are, I guess, the same thing.
Maybe he no longer is he's probably no longer a human. He's some ethereal creature.
Well, he does kind of seem like that. I mean, his emotions are gone.
Yeah.
He just kind of watches the world and
does nothing.
Occasionally hands out small pieces of information, but never enough.
Right.
That's basically what it's come down to.
He's a burden.
So we saw Arya Stark. We saw Jon Snow. And Sansa Stark, all 3 of them, going into the crypt. So as they're walking in, they have the statues of their
parents,
ancestors.
Maybe. I think one of them was supposed to be Ned and...
Yeah, Ned and Catelyn and what's her face? Fuck. Ned's sister. That was the first one that said, you have to protect him. Because she was talking about little baby Jon Snow. Damn it.
I know. It's bugging me now, too. We'll get it.
It'll
come to us.
It's okay. You can yell at us. We are way out of practice on Game of Thrones shit. But then they come to the end of the crypt, and there are their own statues.
Yeah. So how'd they... What?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How'd they what?
I need to isolate a sound clip of that. Now it's time for Jennifer's.
I can't do that again. I can't do that.
I'll clip it out. I got to turn that into a little Pot of Thrones soundboard for us. So, is it real? I don't know. It's a teaser. That's probably not footage from the show.
True.
But the implication of being in the crypt with statues is that they're dead.
No.
What's the crypt?
They will always walk around down there. They always walk around. They have meetings down there. That's where you hold meetings if you don't want anybody to hear.
No, I know. I'm not arguing that. But when they ran into their own statues, the only people.
So you think they're already dead? I mean, in the clip, you think they're dead?
Well, I think this is a ethereal vision for the show. I don't think it's real footage. But if you're in the Stark family and there's a statue of you in the crypt, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
So the implication would probably be death is coming. I mean, winter's already here, so you can't say winter's coming anymore.
It probably means nothing at all.
Who knows, man? But I did feel kind of bad for Sansa. So then as this trailer progresses, if you didn't watch along with us or haven't already seen it, they see their own statues. I thought Arya looked a little peaked. I thought Jon looked kind of old. Like his beard looked fuller. Maybe he gets to live a long, full life and die an old man.
It's a statue.
It's a statue. But then much in a very Harry Potter, the Dementors are coming kind of way. The ice starts crystallizing and their breath gets all cold.
Mm-hmm. The cold is coming.
They pull out their weapons. But I felt bad because Sansa doesn't have anything to do.
She just stepped back and...
If a big fight breaks out, she's just going to get in the way.
She doesn't have she has a sword.
She doesn't know how to fight.
She, I bet, has been training.
Sansa knows how to sew. If she has a sewing needle in her hand, maybe she could stab someone's eyes out.
I am sure she can fight.
You're sure of that?
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Ramsay. I don't know.
No, Ramsay wasn't going to teach her how to fight.
No, I wasn't. I was thinking maybe she would have wanted to learn then.
Oh, so that's something that couldn't happen to her again.
Yeah.
But she has Arya as her little bodyguard now. Doesn't get much better than that.
Well, your little sister being your bodyguard isn't very... I don't know.
Yeah. Look, if Arya was my little sister, maybe there would be a point where I'd be like, this is kind of fucked up. I am a total wuss, and she kicks everybody's ass.
Yeah.
But there does come a point where you see her fight, and you're like,
I can't do that.
No one else can do that. Yeah. No one else can do what Arya's doing. Oh, I wish Arya was my little sister. That'd be so cool. Go around, help her cut people's faces off and wear them as masks.
Wow.
Very Hannibal Lecter-like, but, we'd rule the world, man. I still vote for Arya for the win on this one. I think she could rule the kingdom as somebody else.
Maybe there's going to be a surprise and a whole new person comes up and will be the king.
Oh, God. Do
queen.
they have to introduce new characters now? They can't do that. There's so many. There's so many possible contenders, ranging from like Cersei and Jaime. You got the Starks and Daenerys, but then you even have like Euron Greyjoy. Like
Yeah.
he probably would
He's
be
still
happy
out
to
there
have the
somewhere.
throne. He's out there somewhere, right? Like no one's ever stopped
And his
him.
sister or niece.
Who? Osha? Asha?
No.
Yara. Damn it!
Yara.
Because she was Asha. She's Asha in the books.
Right.
But they changed her from Asha to Yara because it sounded too much like Osha, who is long since dead. I thought Asha was dead.
Did she die?
Or did they just capture her? No, maybe they just captured her.
Oh my gosh, we have to go watch it.
Yeah, so
have to go watch it.
So we have to do our season 7 rewatch.
We should have done that before we talked.
Why? With the whole 7-8 episodes?
No, I meant just like watching. Never mind.
Well, we're going to be starting that
Like the last episode.
any day now,
Okay.
because we want to not only refresh our memories, but we also want to refresh your memories. So if you're new here and you haven't been listening that long, we have been doing half-hour recaps of each season so far. And I think we can pull it off for season 7, even though a shit ton happens. I think we can do it.
All right.
Season 8 is the last season. We'll see. Maybe we'll still do a recap of that just for posterity's sake. But then we'll have the prequel to look forward to.
My guess. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. We'll see. Of course, I'm going to watch it. I just don't know if anything will hook me in like Game of Thrones did.
Won't know till we try.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. So yes, that's going to be our next project. Not to say we won't have podcasts between now and whenever we finish the rewatch of season 7. But the big season 7 project will be to do the 30-minute super speed recap. So you can wait till the day before season 8 and just wash some dishes and get it done and just remember everything that happened. All the big points.
All right.
What else we got going on?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, we have been recording for an hour.
Okay.
I mean, I did have a possible agenda topic if we got bored of how the world's fallen into chaos all over a wall.
Isn't it? So, I mean, Russia.
It's so Game of Thronesian.
It is. It's very, and I mean, we've proven in the past that walls are not good.
It's still one of my favorite episodes that we've ever recorded, where we had a couple guests on, including JP, who is a big history buff, and we talked about a few. I mean, there's lots of places that built walls in history, but in terms of like countries trying to build walls to keep out whatever, invaders, just people they thought were yicky. There's history to this, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't keep people out for very long because walls can be climbed, they can be dug under, they can be gone around,
Right.
which is everything you're seeing in Game of Thrones. And yet, even though this orange motherfucker is putting shit out like sanctions are coming with like a picture of him looking like a White Walker or whatever the fuck that was.
I didn't see that.
It's his big thing. It's like he's trying to scare other countries by doing Game of Thrones memes about his sanctions.
Donald Trump.
I am not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he didn't really have White Walker makeup.
Can't
on, but it
they
was a picture
sue
of
him or something?
I don't know. Probably not.
It's
Parody or whatever. Yeah, even he's doing all this stuff, which would imply he knows anything about Game of Thrones. But then if you hear the Donald Trump like life story, you find out that like he'll watch an action movie and just only watch the action parts and fast forward through everything else. So he probably knows the Game of Thrones. Yes. So he probably knows that Game of Thrones has a wall in it and that the wall was to keep out yicky people.
Yeah.
But that's all he knows. And he doesn't know that even in that fictionalized universe that he wants to quote, the wall doesn't work there either. And it never did. Whether you're talking about the wall, the army of the undead, which it kind of kept out because it's made of magic, which we don't have.
We got to make our.
It never kept out the people. The people that wanted to come over would climb it or sail around. It's not really that hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was pretty hard to
Well, it was hard to
climb over the
climb.
ice wall.
Yeah, it takes some practice. But they do it, and they did it all the time.
Yeah. The wall is only going to make us look like an asshole.
Yep. It's no purpose other than a symbol that says we don't want you here, and that symbol
Go away.
just whatever. It's utterly meaningless. So
I don't know. I don't know about everything that's going on because you don't even know what's real and what's not anymore. You know, which is really bad.
Yeah, it's all a bit surreal. I don't. Oh God, there's so many things I could talk about from a current event standpoint, but I don't think we should because we have been recording for a while. But go back. I'll put a link to it somewhere, and let's see. I'll put a link in the show notes, and maybe I'll tweet about it. But that episode we did, which I think was called "Trump's Wall Won't Be Made of Ice and Magic," it was a long time ago. I think it was before he won the presidential election. Even.
Oh my gosh!
I think it was before he was president. But it was a great episode. I really enjoyed that conversation. So if you haven't heard that yet, you should totally check it out.
Okay, I will.
Yes,
I will.
You should. You probably don't remember recording it any more than you remember Justice League.
Probably, you're right. It's pretty accurate.
I'm sorry. I love you, though.
Oh, I love you. I remember that.
Well, that's good. As long as you don't forget that.
Okay.
Okay. I guess that's it for now. We will be back much sooner than 2 months because everything is so much better than it has been. I'm feeling good now, babe.
Okay.
I'm feeling like a real human being again.
I'm so happy to
I
have
can
you
do
back.
things. Remember I brought in groceries the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday? I brought
Yeah.
in stuff. I carried heavy bags.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that in a long time. So,
Good.
Things are on a incline. Incline? Is that the right word
That's
for it? Things are on a, no, incline's bad.
You're going
The
uphill.
decline's bad. Things are on a thing. I don't know. Things are better.
Yes.
Okay, I'm done. We're out of practice.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.